everyone, I am Clint Denon 80 plus and I will discuss the loss of biodiversity due to water pollution. As an introduction, water pollution, the release of substances into a subsurface groundwater or into lakes, streams, rivers, estuaries, and oceans to the point where the substances interfere with beneficial use of the water or with the natural functioning of ecosystems. In addition to the release of substances such as chemicals or microorganisms, water pollution may also include the release of energy in the form of radioactivity or heat into bodies of water. Much of life on Earth spends either all or some of its time in the water, whether that is a small stream, a lake, or the ocean. With humans being land-based animals, you'd think the water would be a safe place to be, but unfortunately not. Humans have found several ways to pollute all types of natural water bodies, all of which are likely to have negative impact on biodiversity. Number 1. Nitrogen and phosphorus pollution. Nitrogen and phosphorus pollution are common pollutants when they end up in rivers, lakes, and other water bodies. These pollutants originate primarily from chemical fertilizers and manure that are applied to fields to increase crop growth. Any of the nitrogen and phosphorus that is not absorbed by the crop plants end up being washed away into various waterways or it find its ways into groundwater. It should come up as no surprise that these nutrients not only make plants on land grow, but they cause much more rapid growth of plants in the water. This in turn leads to a process known as eutrophication, where this all-excessive aquatic plant growth starts to have adverse effects. 54% of all lakes in Asia are now eutrophic. These new conditions are not good for thriving biodiversity. The new plants cause an increase in oxygen levels in the day, but when night falls, microorganisms in the water feast on the plant matter and cause a dramatic decrease in oxygen. This is not good news for fish and other animals such as shrimp, which need this dissolved oxygen to breathe, many of which that die off in what are referred to as dead zones. Pesticides. If not applied in the correct manner, pesticides can end up in water courses via similar pathways to the fertilizers mentioned above. The impact of pesticides on biodiversity tend to be worse for non-flowing water bodies such as ponds and lakes, where the substances aren't washed away and where wildlife can't repopulate areas as easily. Number 3. Heavy metals. Heavy metal pollution of water can originate from many sources, from mining to cars to cement production. Heavy metals include metals such as mercury, arsenic, and cadmium, which all have the characteristic of not breaking down easily once in the environment. These metals have been found to have impact on fish species, impacting behavior and survival rates. And last, oil. Oil enters the water from many sources, but it has the biggest impact on wildlife during a large oil spill event. This is usually when oil is being transported in a ship across the ocean and somehow spills a large amount of the load, causing havoc on the impacted ecosystems. Oil spills can impact marine life in several ways, suffocating caused by physical blockage of air passages and gills, disrupting senses so animals are unable to find food or detect predators. Internal damage from the toxic effect of oil including damage to vital organs, and reduced growth rates and higher mortality of larvae. To conclude and summarize, water pollution is a global issue and the water community is facing worse result of polluted water. Major sources of water pollution are discharge of domestic and agricultural waste, population growth, excessive use of pesticides and fertilizers, and urbanization. Bacterial, viral, and parasitical disease are spreading through polluted water and affecting human health. It is recommended that there should be proper waste disposal system and waste should be treated before entering into the river. Educational and awareness program should also be organized to control the pollution. And here is the link of my video presentation. The references.